What stopped you from committing suicide? My daughter, I want her to know me and I want her to know who my mom was to me and stuff. I started to write a book for her just in case. My nephew, ultimately. He's 5 but I don't want him growing up hearing from my family about how good of a sister/daughter I am and the what ifs of if I was still around. SSRIs, pain management, and my best friend coming over every day, unannounced and making me get in the car. Most days she made me run errands with her. Hung out with her and her kids. Once pain management was handled, it helped a lot. I still have chronic pain, but not to where I want to kill myself. I don't know if anyone will read this, but I want to say that, for me personally, I started eating nothing but beef and my depression completely resolved itself. It was so bad, but in less than a week it was like a cloud was lifted. This might not work for everyone, but maybe others like me will find this beneficial. I'm happy to answer any questions about the diet, but it was basically eggs in the morning, no lunch, and ribeye steak for dinner. Been doing this now for 3 or so years. Hope that things will get better. I've always described myself as optimistic. My dog. I got him when he was 6 weeks old. He's 1.5 now, and truly saved my life. Training him gave me a healthy outlet for my emotions, and when everything in my life felt out of control, I knew I could have control over something while training him. We developed a bond that I can't even describe with words. He's my best friend, my favorite thing on this planet. I truly believe he's my soulmate, in animal form. Our connection is so strong. My cat. I love him to death, and the shithead is always interrupting everything I do. He's currently sitting and staring at me. At first it was the idea of guilt and selfishness and ungratefulness killing myself. The real thing that saved me were my girlfriend and my cat. Mostly my girlfriend. I heard my 4-year-old talking about me to my husband the day before I planned on kissing them goodbye. He was asking if we could go to Sequest to see the sharks again and wanted me to be there. We've been there 3 times since. Mr. Incredible. Sued him afterwards, ruining my death. 1. I was too much of a coward to do so. Truly. Also, I have a lot of stuff I need to watch, read, play. I'll never catch up, so that means I'm living forever. Self-imposed golden rule. Can't really remember when I had set this rule up and why I had done so, but it has been the single most powerful rule set upon myself that it's quite hard to break. You could say I self-hypnotized that rule. The rule? Do not attempt suicide under any shape or form. You are not allowed to do it directly or indirectly. You cannot set it up by someone else, and you must struggle until your last breath and then some. Nothing lol. My dogs. Sorry to my fiance, I love him SM, but honestly the thought of our dogs not understanding where I am breaks me. I realized that I could hurt my family way more by building up their trust, and when I turn 19 I will record myself exposing their every flaw, send it to everyone, and move out of state. Any tips on how to make the suffer more? Edit. This is not a joke. Deleted. Probably too late, but just in case. Knowing someone had to take care of my dog. I had already grabbed the gun from my mom's dresser, and my 2 best friends showed up to our apartment to force me to come with them to a volleyball game. They had no idea what was happening, just that I looked like I was having a bad day. Even though that was in high school, like 10 years ago, I fondly remember that night, not for the time I was focused on ending my own life, but for one of the most fun nights of my life with my best friends. A Christmas song playing outside. Maybe this is too shallow, but I can't cut myself and watch my life fades away while a fucking Christmas playing on the background. My fear of feeling pain and sharp things. And my game, I still wanna play game. Not wholesome but still. Too scared. Knowing it would only last a moment. Ending my life over an overwhelmingly painful moment wasn't worth it to me. Our lives are filled with moments, a single moment, or 4, that I feel isn't worth all the other moments I feel. I'd fear it wouldn't work. Every morning my dog runs excitedly into my room to greet me. I imagined her running in tomorrow morning to find my lifeless body hanging from the window grills. Deleted. Not wanting to leave my kids fatherless. My World of Warcraft guild. I had a handgun. I had a date, had a post ready. I was close to so many people that pulled me down. It was about 17 years ago and it's still hard to talk about, but I'm doing much better now, thumbs up. The world is a worse place with me here, and who am I to deprive you of my presence? Laziness. My dog. The idea of her not knowing what happened to me, where I went, why I abandoned her. Deleted. My dog would think I just dipped one day. My fiancé. When we were still dating, she knew I was going through tough times, mental health issues and all that. One day I ran out of the house and went on a bike ride. I ended up at the town's train station. I live in the Midwest, there's trains everywhere here. I stood in front of the tracks for 15 minutes just staring at them. I was waiting for the next train to come so I could walk in front of it. Then I got a text from my fiancée. She was wondering if I could hang out that day. And it reminded me about how someone loves me in this world. I'm better now, went to a hospital, got lots of therapy and the whole shebang. I proposed to her and we're happy. My, now former, best friend, then later on, their son. I had promised them I would help them make sure he was taken care of. I don't see them anymore and the only updates I get are from Facebook, but I still love that kid more than myself and I continue to hold out in hopes I can see them again. Adding on, my sister, multiple times. She's a family member that actually expresses that she cares and doesn't hold things back, so she's caught me on the edge a few times in recent years. And the thought of leaving my mother another problem to deal with if I was to die. My dad. The day I was going to do it, he sensed something was wrong and talked to me. He gave me the strength to push on and I am so happy I did. So this has a slight background to it, but my depression started very early and by the time I was 12 I wanted to kill myself because I was so tired of living. Well, when I was 13 years old, my grandma who practically raised me ended up dying unexpectedly of a heart attack and the shock oddly snapped me out of my suicidal thoughts. I also didn't want my little brother who was only 6 at the time thinking that suicide was the way out when life got difficult. Now to this day I do have suicidal ideation but no desire to act on any of it thanks to me being constantly medicated and with the plan to be medicated for the rest of my life so I can function normally when things go south for me. My best friend and we're talking about how I was feeling one day and I was honest. He said I can't do anything stupid because he needed me in his life. Not wanted me to stay around but needed me. He said he wasn't sure what he would do without me. I cried on the spot. I couldn't believe it. The love he has for me is insane and we're not even in a relationship. He's my best friend and I'm staying as long as I can for him. A friend of mine who's now my husband. I don't know why, but being suicidal and depressed really started to make me a depression magnet. I did my best to hide it. Whenever I got depressed I couldn't reach out for help. But somehow, friends and acquaintances really started reaching out to me. I had no idea they were depressed or going through hard times. And for some reason I was the one they called. Over the years, more people have credited me for helping them climb out of the pit. They made big life changes because I listened, empathized, and reassured them that this wasn't the end. So ironic. I gave them advice that I don't even take. I have given people money. I helped people come out as LGBT. I listened to heart-wrenching stories and soul-ripping cries at 3 in the morning when they couldn't sleep and were at the end of their rope. We're all still here. I'm an atheist, so I can only take this as hilarious coincidence that the people helping me not kill myself are the people who ask me for help. Didn't want to hurt my family, they've gone through enough. Spite. I have oceans of hate, and I won't give the bastards the pleasure of winning. I'm going to outlive my tormentors and piss on their graves. I was driving somewhere with a guy I've been in a sort of relationship with, and I made some joke about being crazy and he said, "You're not crazy at all, you're the most sensible person I know." So I told him what I was thinking of. His response stunned me completely. What? You can't do that. I'm planning on spending my life with you. I still have my mum and my cats. So I was planning on doing it after they were gone. Youngest cat is 4, so 14 years away maybe? And mum's health is deteriorating. Once her and my cats are gone, I'll have no family, no real friends, and likely no kids. But for now the plan is on hold, because apparently this wonderful has actually thought about our future together. I feel silly writing this out, saying that's why I've reconsidered. Not having sharp knives. When things got real bad, my best friend dragged me to the doctor's office for some store-bought serotonin. It was the doc's words that I always keep in mind when it gets dark. The pain you feel right now doesn't stop with your heart, it just gets passed on to those around you. You can work on it because it's within you, but they may never truly understand what you went through and therefore take even longer to heal from. Knowing that a family member who would be happier without me around would benefit forever from getting to play the victim card.